I'm pretty bad at throwing stuff away, especially metal things. Something that always piles up in my workshop are utility knife blades. Can never get myself to throw them away because I feel like I'll use them for something in the future or I'll resharpen them and reuse them. But it's hard for me to justify spending a couple minutes on a disposable blade. So I had this idea a few weeks ago to make a sharpening jig for utility knife blades. Basically, just something that would help make sharpening the blades very quick and very efficient. That way, I wasn't spending a lot of time on them, and it prolonged the life of the blades. So, this is the process I went through to make a utility knife blade sharpener. So far, we drilled those holes. We'll put these little metal pegs in there. They're just sawed off nails. And that's going to create a seat for the knife to sit into. That way it doesn't wobble around or anything. Um, but there's a problem that I had to solve, and that was figuring out how to keep those pegs in those holes. I couldn't weld it, and I didn't trust any glue or epoxy. And so I did something a little different. It was an experiment, and it worked out pretty well. It was very tedious, but something to keep in my back pocket for next time I need to use it. Uh, I'll explain it once it's done, because I want to see if you guys can figure out what I'm doing while I'm doing it. All right, so I created a little baby metal wedge, and that wedge is going to slide into the slit that I cut with a hacksaw. So whenever I beat it into the hole, that wedge is going to hit the bottom of the hole. I'm going to drive the peg down on top of that wedge. The wedge is going to spread the bottom of the peg apart, and that's going to lock it into that hole. And it worked pretty well. It was very tedious to get that wedge like stuck in there. It just took a lot of trial and error. But hey, the peg stayed in there, so I'd consider it a success. Next, I'm going to cut out like the top cap or clamp. Basically, this is what is going to be holding the blade down against the top of the railroad spike. Now, if I just completely beat up a blade like this, you can see it's got some deep grooves in there. I'm just going to throw it away. By throw it away, I mean keep it, just not use it. But for a blade like this that's in decent shape, it's just lost its factory edge and it can't shave hair or anything, that's what this tool is for. It's for honing up that edge very quickly, very efficiently. Now it's pretty simple to use this. You slide the knife down against the pegs, you tighten the cap down, and then take a sharpening stone. In my case, I'm using a diamond stone on the 1000 grit side, and you run it over that edge about 20 times, flip it around, do the same thing, and your knife's good to go.